It should be safe for you to walk in there, Professor. So
Ooh,
long as you
excellent.
don't damage anything anymore.
Oh,
As
I
well as you, Kindrick.
would certainly
Alright.
hope I don't damage anything. Pimien's first priority is to inspect for, like, inscriptions in languages that he knows. Like
okay.
labels or like scripts.
There are most definitely things written here and in a language that Pimien can understand. Roll me a knowledge engineering, please, as you try to find out what the hell is going on here.
I will be lucky for this.
Will you?
Well, I'm going to use a round of my luck.
Well, looking at the different things, this seems to be some sort of control station of some sort. It also seems that the large flashing golden panel on one of the windows to nothing does seem like something you potentially push and see what happens.
I really wanna.
Do it.
Go for it. You don't have to
Good.
fucking
All right.
explain to yourself. Like, you're the one who reads the language. No one else can.
It's
So,
true.
I mean, the professor's pretty much like, I need to press this.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Pimien will press it.
You press the button, and as you do, the entire room suddenly whirs and buzzes and hums with energy as the lights dim and go out completely. For just a moment, as the hum and buzz then intensifies, the light shining back on even brighter than before, and on the glass table in the middle, there's suddenly an image, really, of the desert landscape.
Just like an overview map, basically.
Essentially, a translucent image of the landscape floating in the air, essentially. The golden panel has disappeared, and from the writing suddenly appearing in its place, Pimien would think that he's done something, at least.
What does the writing say?
The writing is essentially just gibberish.
What, like an error message or something?
It's probably supposed to mean something, but it's just broken gibberish. It is most definitely in the Androthan. What's the word? They are most
Language?
definitely Androthan, but just messed up somehow.
Okay.
Does the image differ from our knowledge of the desert?
It does seem to be exactly what you also explored.
Pimien will ask one of the others to, like, walk out there.
I shall check. Zarin will walk out of the tunnel to peer into the desert.
Do I see Zarin emerge on the hologram?
You do, in fact, see a little dot, at least, representing him.
Chanda is standing guard here in the corridor.
And Zarin, walking out, sees the change pretty much immediately, as he's no longer standing under a metal dome, but rather under a blue sky, or at least a representation of one. The desert is suddenly lit, and it's getting much, much warmer than before.
Zarin grumbles. Should have lit this place first before gathering the skeletal bones. Turning around, calling back. Well, you certainly won't have to worry about navigating down here anymore. The dome is fully lit.
Pimien will also say, yes, and we see a little representation of your location on this thing in here. This hologram, as it will. We see where you are when you move.
Interesting. Let me test that out for you. Zarin will shift to looking like a stag. Not that anyone can tell that. And he will rush onto the plateau.
Okay,
Go.
the dot does move as well.
Okay. Does it seem to be an accurate representation of, like, time, or is it a little delayed?
It is a bit delayed and jumps occasionally, disappears occasionally, but it does seem to be somewhat accurate at least.
Any more dots, or?
There are no other dots apart from what must be Zarin.
Nope. Guess there's nothing else unless you want to push the button again.
No. So what was this violet light thing?
It seems to be some sort of machine that is probably the most broken out of the lot.
Oh, okay. You said this was like green up here?
That seems to be a window, a display of sorts.
Not currently displaying anything.
It is displaying a lot, but nothing of it makes sense. It's just
Right.
shapes and lines.
Yeah. Okay. I think we've basically gotten the full benefit out of this room, more or less.
It's a good place to check once we're heading back outside.
Yeah, at some point I want to come and try to salvage like stuff out of this, like maybe stuff that I can use to create other stuff later. Any like valuable components, but right now we don't.
Maybe that merchant would be interested in some of these glittering things.
Maybe.
I don't know about salvaging it. It appears to have restored power to the entire. Like Zarns are like shrugs and like gestures back behind him the
Little
hallway.
cave thing.
I believe I was thinking mostly of the obviously broken things, the ones that couldn't provide any possible value to the structure.
Zarn shrugs.
Shrugs as well. There's no real idea what is valuable, what provides value, and what doesn't.
There's one more door that we can check.
That was open last time.
The door does open again just as Rover approaches it and reveals a light-filled hallway.
Got to strike down whoever is behind it. Who opened it?
Zarin will poke his head through.
Dares.
I'm pressing the wrong button.
Oh, look at these thin corridors.
Tunnel continues in both directions. At least it's well lit.
So, Professor, do you have a preference of way?
I have no idea what could be beyond here.
Right or left first?
Well, right does lead back out toward the dome. Well,
Suppose we
towards where we came in, anyway. But there is, well, I guess I can't see it, but...
Do we
Okay, that works.
still have those traps ready? Or some of those traps?
Zarin like quirks his head like, I wonder where this could go to. I didn't see any door.
Wondering if we should leave one trap behind us.
Well, we don't have to deal with it. We can come back.
There doesn't seem to be much roaming in here.
Zarin like quirks his head like curiously. Professor, do you have any idea what this thing would have been used for?
This tunnel, it could be for maintenance or travel throughout a structure or...
I mean, that is what tunnels generally are used for, I think.
Oh, yes, but...
But it leads straight to a dead end.
The tunnel terminates in a pile of metal and rubble.
Well,
Looks like Connor Bain didn't come this way. Or maybe he did.
But perhaps this has to relate with the other area we saw earlier full of metal and rubble.
That seems likely. If so, we should expect perhaps this thing to go equally far the other side.
From what I can tell, then...
The
From what I
same
can
for
tell,
this end. Just
Rubble.
dented pieces of metal blocking the way
Because there
completely.
was like, down here there were like 2 paths that were rubbled as well.
Based on that, I imagine that this tunnel would have originally gone all the way around the dome. The biosphere, as it were.
Well,
Perhaps to that door by the gremlin things that was sealed.
perhaps.
no. Would make sense that whoever lived here wouldn't have to go through the monster cave every time.
Yes, they seem to have treated it as some sort of zoo.
It's very terrible zoo, I suppose. They could sit in there as opposed to
What is a zoo?
It's a place where you keep animals for people to look at.
What the...
Dancing bears.
Seals.
I
That
think
is-
more accurately that this biodome would have been used for study of the entrapped creatures and not for entertainment of guests.
What a horrid thing.
Nobles
Let's
enjoy the strangest entertainments.
This door again has another small protrusion next to it. A
Try to
slit.
Hard work.
The same thing.
Zarin, like, looks at key card, slip of metal, 4x10 or whatever, and attempts to utilize it.
It enters the slit without trouble, and the door swings open.
Have a thing like, nope. Well,
Doom
damn.
door sound.
This is some sort of, like, metal flat key.
The lights in the next room that I will reveal in just a moment are flickering.
No.
There's a large metal desk with blinking lights and strange glowing panels.
It's the
Sitting atop
Institute.
a raised area on the east side of this room, near a circular table. There are 2 couches covered with a black material sitting to the south, as well as a pair of metal pillars. The floor and the walls here and there are stained with a patch of rust-red mold and fungus.
Do take care to stay away from the mold.
What color of mold is it?
Rust red.
That was the same kind, I believe, that we killed with alcohol before.
I think you are correct, Professor.
Alcohol.
Zarin.
I believe it completely destroys your internal organs otherwise.
Will
Oh,
cautiously step forward and take a closer look into the room.
Sounds like an awful mold.
Stepping closer into the room, there's another thing that Zara notices, which is a rather large blood stain to the north near one of the doors.
Zarin
Opening
hisses.
Fresh.
It does not immediately appear fresh.
I
Process
guess
for
that
the
is a
bad.
worthwhile question, Jonas. I actually would have, if he said that is fresh, I'd have been like, what?
Mm-hmm.
So what's this over here? Just like equipment racks or
It's like
Uh,
another door.
tables or this stuff?
those down here are 2 couches.
Oh.
Couches.
Yep.
All right.
I suppose he did describe that.
Can we sell the
Yeah.
leather-bound couches?
Leather bun?
Where was the russet mold?
It's scattered around the room in small
Oh.
patches.
Oh, okay.
Prepare to drink alcohol if it touches you.
Yeah,
Perhaps you might be able to discern something from it. He gestures towards, what is that, Professor? Like pointing ahead
The-
at the... I know it's a desk, but I
Well,
fucking
yeah.
hard to think.
It's more holograph.
Is it safe to approach? Is there russet mold all over it?
Well, the russet mold is essentially scattered along the walls and the edges where the floor meets the walls, essentially.
Okay,
Stay
so
in
I
the
can
middle.
safely just kind of like vault the desk.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
And next
Um,
to a rune chair, you find on the desk a glowing display of blue static.
Are there any buttons or like things I can read?
There are many buttons, but
Many
that,
buttons. Are any
Yeah.
of them labeled with like letters?
none of them are labeled.
With anything? Oh goodness.
Maybe they have been labeled in the past, but they are not labeled any longer.
Are there any drawers on the desk?
No.
Hmm.
It's a
I,
door.
I suppose I'll make a perception check to try to see any like anything that's like not immediately obvious basically about this contraption or the desk itself.
Well, it seems pretty obvious that this is some sort of high technology machine that is clearly not functioning correctly.
Okay. Are there any differently colored buttons or buttons of a different size?
The
Like
buttons The buttons are pretty uniform.
Damn, Jig, you are trying hard on this.
Look, I'm wondering if there's. I'm trying to look. These are things that Pimian would look for.
Just wants to press the
Can,
biggest
can,
button.
can the sorcerer like close his eyes and like feel this ghost in the machine or something? Feel it.
Zarin will step closer to the door behind the professor while he's going all giddy with buttons.
The door does open automatically, revealing a small storage room with lockers.
Ooh.
Zarin will like look back, step in, close the door.
And you close the door if it's automatic.
Are you all right?
I will disable device the door.
Who's gonna live in there?
Zarin
can we do a...
looks at the loggers. I suppose I'll attempt to scour the room. This room looks like it's in fairly decent condition.
Okay, all 3 lockers are unlocked. 2 of them contain the following things: a medium-sized metal stick, 26 silver discs, as well as 3 pristine-looking silver discs that you've previously discovered to be batteries.
Okay, 5 batteries. Now, was that 26 or 27 silver discs?
26.
Okay, 26. Got
In
it.
addition to that, one of the lockers contains a heavy metal bin that you
Okay.
can't immediately open. It has a white stripe on its top and a small slit.
Zarin like looks at like his black metal and then like looks at the white metal. It says, "Damn. Well, I found some things here in the locker. However, one of the things I found can't actually open.
Can you bring it?
You see that slit? Maybe that key pad.
Already tried it. Doesn't work.
box.
It looks like these things have. There's better keys.
Colors.
Yes. I don't know. How heavy is the crate?
The bin can be picked up without too much difficulty.
Zarin like lifts it up and says, "I don't really feel like carrying this around is a good idea. I'm gonna find a way to open it down here." Zarin like puts it back down.
Right. So, I mean, the blood would indicate that someone went through that door.
Pimian wants to press all the buttons until one of them does something.
Okay, you press buttons.
I mean, if it's broken, then nothing will happen.
Rothor is very impressed with Pimian's skills since he knows how to press these buttons.
You press a button as the display lights up in a irritatingly bright white, causing Pimian to be dazzled.
Pimian will press that button again.
And just sit there like, yay! I'm
I
just
love
pressing the button.
No, in hopes that it turns off.
Burn my
It continues soaking the room in glorious white light.
Pimian will go back through the buttons he already pressed.
You do manage to cause a reaction from the thing as you mash buttons, which is a voice in Androphan that Pimian can luckily understand, shouting, "Danger! Danger!"
Oh no.
Rothor looks around, confused.
Professor, what are you doing?
Pimian says, "Don't worry, I've got it under control."
Keeps pressing buttons around him.
Zarin
Yeah.
says, "I would enjoy being able to leave this closet while being able to see well."
That is the strangest form of illumination I've ever seen. Why would you?
Pimian says,
I
"Rothor,
can
you're
just,
like..."
I can stop it if you want. She sort of aims
No,
for
hang
it
on.
with the rifle.
Yeah, no, Pimian says, "Rothor, you're like hitting things, right? I'm done with this. Come hit it. If you want. It would get the light to turn on."
Oh God!
Well, I do have these smoked goggles if you want to keep...
Oh yeah,
playing
we
with
do
it.
have smoked goggles. It's true.
Sure, I can take the, is it like sitting on the desk or?
It's sitting on the desk, yeah.
Can we
take
like
the great sword
push
and
it
like,
over?
snag it on the side with
Wait,
the
wait,
flat?
can we bring it with us and use it as a basing device?
Try to knock it off of the desk.
Alright.
The
Roll me an attack
technological
roll.
wizardry
Robots.
is
Hate them.
amazing.
I'll use power attack.
Is it like bolted to the desk? Can we just like push it over?
So lucky
It
we
is
have.
bolted to the desk.
Oh.
Oh,
So lucky we have so many people with
You
tech skills.
you hit the display, damaging it severely. The light does fizzle out, as well as sparks start flying from it.
Oh, fixed it.
Good. Yep.
I'll
guess
give
we're
a
not
reaction.
salvaging that.
Zoran peers around the corner and sees the sparks, remains thoroughly out of view.
Good work, Professor. Sound
Yes.
stopped as well. Run for your
10 seconds until detonation.
Oh dear.
man. Imagine if it just began counting down from like 10 when you press random buttons on a thing you don't know what is.
That certainly worked well for us.
So, is it the door over here as well, or?
There is a door to the east as well as to the north.
We are looking for people, though.
Yeah, blood would
Yeah.
indicate people.
Does it seem to be smeared on the door, like it has opened, or is it more like, oh god, I'm wounded, I'm trying to open the door, but it doesn't open?
I would say that
Brothor
would
is
be a heal
familiar
check.
in blood spatter.
All right, sure, I can do a heal check. Not well,
Brothor is,
but, you know,
He's familiar with blood splatter patterns.
I've splattered blood many times.
I'm good at healing. Oh, not as good as Chandala, apparently.
Both Pimian and Chandala would at least agree that the source of the blood likely was on the other side and crawled through here. Or tried to.
Well, that's
And
ominous.
how long ago, roughly?
Oh.
It can be
It's-
age.
It's not ancient, but it wasn't yesterday. Days,
So
weeks,
between 2 days and 10,000 years is what you're saying.
days
10,000
or
is pretty
weeks.
ancient.
Days or
God
weeks?
is so informative.
Days or weeks, will Chandler will say as she studies the blood patterns.
Oh, did they come in or go leave from here?
Well, I don't see any footprints in the blood, so that would indicate that someone crawled in there and it has seeped out.
Perhaps fleeing from the monster we just cemented away.
Yep.
Seeped or sprayed?
Thing thought that we weren't making a difference, but maybe it'll think differently when it can't reanimate inside of a...
Cement.
The door doesn't open?
The door does open as soon as you just touch it.
Oh. And a corpse flops out
Yeah. Well, one. No,
out of the
Professor,
storage closet. Yeah.
Like that group of clerics we never heard about?
Oh, God! This is a bad corridor. Oh,
Opening the door reveals a blood-stained hallway, with bloodstains marring the floor and the walls of this hallway, while there are also scorch marks and smears of ash on the walls. There are also 4 mounds of metal and other bits.
Maybe it's not our destiny to go this way.
well, it seems
This
that
is like
something.
But
You're like
are they
in-
dead robots?
Zoran takes off.
You're like in a. It's like a ruined
Okay.
derelict, and like the lights are flickering. And you're like moving through this space Hulk.
Coming this way, it seems very
That's terrible.
clear that the blood is from someone being dragged this way. Multiple someones, even.
Oh, goodness. Well, I think we found the expedition.
The giant space
One of them,
spider
anyway.
monster is going to be behind here.
What sort of robots does it seem to be destroyed down there?
That would be a perception check.
Well, I ain't getting that, so, like, just, okay, dead robots. It's just more like
Engineering check, or?
He
They
wants
have-
to know.
huge drills, or, like, is it like a snake-like serpentine, like...
Well, they definitely seem to be somewhat humanoid robots. Pimir would even think that they are the same robots
Maintenance
that you've already
robots,
found,
yeah.
the maintenance robots. Zaron opens a door into a room with a long table with various unusual stones and dirt samples heaped on it. To the north is a metal desk, and the heart of this room seems to be a sort of device with a flickering sphere of reddish-brown mud or dirt floating in its middle. There is dust covering most of the things in this room, except for a strangely clean swath between the doors from the west end to the south end.
Zarin's immediate rush comes to a halt because blood being dragged, and then suddenly clean floor. Looks behind him. There's no fucking clean floor.
Mm-hmm.
Suspicious eye.
This floor has been cleaned.
Well, looking around the room, you cannot immediately identify why this would be.
Try to knock it.
There do not seem to be any creatures or robots of any kind, or even any device that would have had this effect.
Okay.
If I knock at the door down here.
The door opens, revealing
They're very polite doors.
a hallway. Suffice to say that the doors close again after you went through them.
Yeah. So there's a stripe of cleaned hall that's not dirty at all, leading right through it. I mean, that's almost as telling as a blood splatter mark.
Well, we do know that there are robots down here that seem to be trying to do maintenance. Maybe they also clean. Sort of looks around at the mess.
We have to clean some rooms.
Or it is drag marks. Maybe it just ran out of blood.
Oh.
I guess that is possible. Looking at all the blood leading up here.
Yumin wants to inspect the floaty orb mud red ball.
Chandala, can you keep an eye on this hall over here?
Sure.
Roll me a perception check then, Jake.
Scream if you need me.
Balls. Not anything good.
It seems to be a ball of mud and plant matter.
Is the machine... Does it have anything written on it? Basically do the standard Androffen check.
Nothing that you can immediately consider helpful.
Okay.
It's like waste processing.
Like
Oh,
the
God.
planting torch?
Hang on. Pimian says, did anyone else hear that?
No.
No.
If we were meant to hear it, we would have.
Pimian then addresses I'm assuming, Pimian assumes that what he heard came from the plant orb thing. And he will say, I am a scientist. Who are you?
Rothor, Professor.
I am talking to the orb, Rothor.
Frowns.
Zarin looks at Rothor.
Looks at the orb thing.
The orb floats in the device.
What did you hear, Professor?
I heard the voice of a child in my mind asking who I was. And now it has just said, when I asked it who it was, it said, I am me. Who am I? And I don't know who it is.
All right.
Hello, child's voice. No. Has this happened before?
Never.
So
Never to me, anyway.
Looks bad.
Anything else you hear, Professor?
Perhaps we should leave this room.
It just told me I wasn't very interesting. I don't like this.
Oh, sorry, you don't want to check the
Well,
tracks?
but
Good smash the little ball thing.
well, what would it find interesting then? Shandala shouts into the room. Shandala blinks and looks around.
I once knew a man who heard voices like that.
I can
Killed
hear
all of
it
his family.
too, she says, looking around.
What did it say?
Frowns. So it's not just this room then.
Everyone at home, listen to Typefest 2015.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
The voice now fills all of your heads, meaning I will make it slightly more interesting by actually talking instead of writing. The faint, childlike voice speaks in all of your minds, saying, "Don't leave. Do you bring food?"
Sure, where do we
Ooh.
leave it?
There was this red food on the floor. Do you have more of that?
Oh, no.
That's team, huh?
Back away.
No,
Yeah.
we don't.
Stop. As
Okay.
you back away, the voice changes from curiosity to pure anger in a single moment, as we will enter initiative.
Oh, God. Mad Mudball is gonna go for us.
Are you sure it's the ball?
I'm not sure what it is. The professor said it was the ball.
I was assuming it was the ball.
Another 2 from me, huh?
Holy ghosts!
Ghosts! In the machine.
No, considering the prevalence of like fucking like mold and shit, I would assume it's the damn ball. This is like some sort of like botany area.
It eats people. I should have smashed it.
As the childlike voice is replaced by first a crying appearing in your mind, and then a shriek that is most definitely not only in your mind. Anyone in 30 feet, which is Rofor and Pimion, make me a will save, please.
Toga, I'm gonna eat all of you.
Please don't.
As
Well-
the floating ball
Oh.
of mud floating in the device opens up, revealing tentacles and a mouth.
Oh, God!
Of course it does.
Oh,
Both
no, it's a
Rofor and
sweet
Pimion
fungus.
fail. You are both nauseated for 3 rounds.
I know this enemy.
Wasn't that it means useless?
It's hideous.
I
Kenrick.
just feel like
Can I use my Arcana knowledge to identify it, or?
That would be knowledge nature for this particular enemy.
Oh,
kill it.
well, is it alive? It seems alive.
Yes.
Seems very much alive, yes.
Oh, let's see. Oh, I could. Wait, there's too many people here. I'll just. Let's see. Yeah, I could cast sleep on it then. If it is alive. Let's see then. So yeah, I guess that is DC 17 I need to make.
It does seem to be a plant creature of sorts, and as you cast your sleep spell, you very quickly notice that plants do not sleep.
Oh, well,
It is immune.
okay. Well, did I waste that spell? Or
The
should I-
spell would be wasted, yes.
Oh. Damn plants.
That's Pathfinder for you instead of a system that would inform you of the illegality.
No. It just said living things, so I thought it would.
You can target it, but it's not going to do anything.
Oh, I thought I casted it. Okay, well, I'm not gonna cast it.
No, you did cast it.
You would have cast it.
Okay, well, so I'm gonna back away then.
Okay. Permian, you are nauseated.
Yeah, all I can do is move. Which I will do. Oh, there's Grimace. How can I select my guy? There we go.
Zarin?
Zara knew that there was shit wrong. That's why he stepped the fuck out. No, look at this shit. I'm gonna go ahead and use my final daily casting. I'm gonna go ahead and cast Lead Blades. And I don't feel like moving. I end my turn.
Okay, roll for.
I can't do anything else.
Chandala.
Well, I'm gonna shoot this thing. It's a silly fungal face. Like so.
That does hit it.
Wow. Alright, 13 damage.
The musket bullet disappearing into the mud. As it will then catapult itself out of the device it is currently situated in
Oh.
and charge Chandala. It will then try to touch her
I don't like being touched.
with a plus 21 versus touch. That is a
Yeah.
hit. Roll me a will save.
Sure.
Tina's enjoying this.
Yeah, she's loving Jonas's pain.
That is enough to not be dazed. In addition to that, anyone within 60 feet now, roll me a will save as your mind is being assaulted by confusing images of alien physiology and ideas that you can simply not comprehend.
It's sending pictures of its physiology.
It's
It's
sending
like, this
a lot
is
of
my
different pictures.
liver!
Look at my legs.
It's hideous.
No, where is it?
Right next to attack, almost purple button.
Chandala also has to roll me another will save.
F4.
Double will?
Because this is a different effect.
Oh.
It's a monster.
All of you succeed.
Hooray.
Kenrick.
Well then. Guess I could keep.
It is also worth noting that it is currently threatening all of you with its tentacles.
Can I make that 5 feet move though? Without.
Yeah.
5 feet,
Triggering.
yes.
But it means that, yeah, it's not going to matter a whole lot.
I'll guess move this way. Hopefully there's nothing bad over there. And I will cast Mage Armor on myself.
You would provoke an attack of opportunity by doing so. The cerebric fungus apparently can reach all of us.
Oh.
It has super long tentacles, yeah.
Hmm.
Maybe just let Chandla deal with this one.
I need to get out of close combat.
Yeah. I mean, if I move more than 5 feet, I'm gonna get attacked, right?
Yes.
But if you stay there, then that at least allows Saren to step in that doorway and smack it, while Chandler then can then step 5 foot back and try to shoot it.
Can I close the door from here? Probably not.
Considering how it opens automatically,
Yeah.
We need the clamps, damn it. Oh, we actually have them.
I don't want to provoke an attack, so I will. Can I ready my defenses in any way, or?
As a full round action, you can do something called total defense, but other than that, no. I guess you can 5 foot step into it, yeah?
Should work, yeah.
And what does that do?
+4 dodge bonus to your AC.
Okay. Oh, I will do that then.
Okay, just put the information that you are doing that into your label. If you double click your token and go to label, then it would be Pimian's turn, who is still nauseated.
Yeah.
Wonderfully useless.
Yeah, the whole part where it says can't concentrate on anything means I can't do knowledge checks, right? I would assume.
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah, so do you want me to, like, back up or do anything? Or, I mean,
5 foot step and see if you're still threatened.
am I still threatened?
No.
Okay.
Let me know that.
Then I'll do nothing.
Okay.
You said for 3 rounds?
Saren, yes, 3 rounds. So
So
round
beginning of
4.
round 4, we can act.
well, I, as a matter of fact, do have knowledge nature, and I'm not nauseated, God.
Okay, this is a cerebric fungus, a alien-like plant with a mind that has confused scholars for centuries. It is most definitely sentient and can do a number of things with other people's mind, such as mostly send confusing images, although the more powerful variants of this particular creature can do far more. This one, however, seems to be very young.
Okay.
It's a baby internet.
I'm a decadent schnoz.
That most definitely is it. Slices into the ball of mud and plant matter with tentacles.
Zarin will be silent and emotionless through this.
Don't go there, please.
Fine, I can just stand around. Total defensing. There you
I
go.
don't think you can even total defense. I think all you can do is move.
Oh
Actually,
yeah,
as
that's true. I can just stand here.
I suppose you could have walked. It doesn't really matter, I guess, now that I think of it. So I can just retreat back here.
Eat the attack of opportunity.
Yep.
It will slap at you with its tentacle then. With its tendrils, even. Tentacle tendrils.
That is a miss.
That does not hit.
Alright, move back here and shoot it. Kablamo!
That hits. Shooting out another chunk of mud. And the shrieks that have once again turned into the telepathic, only into your mind, are intensifying. As it will attack Zarin in a fit of rage. And is that supposed to be only one? Yeah. Those two definitely miss. Kenrick.
Keep moving over this way. Careful not to trigger the automatic door on the left there.
Okay.
And oh yeah, I guess I'm still threatened.
You're threatened. You're also blind for some reason.
Huh?
It's because I think he stepped into your vision blocking layer by moving his token there, Sheep.
Oh, he's set to being blind. That's weird. There we go. Now I can see. Thanks.
Okay, keep full defending.
Okay, come in.
I do nothing.
Zarin. The shrieks stop.
Zarin will say, "That's enough out of you," and thrust the lead-bladed greatsword, fueled by his personal magic, into the center of the whining mass.
Combat is over.
Conveniently, we're no longer nauseated.
And he will ruthlessly punt with his boot the damn ball back into the room.
Oh, what an incredibly hideous creature.
I wonder who he ate.
The next time that something speaks to you directly in your mind, perhaps engage in something a bit more than parley, like responding with violence.
You are quite knowledgeable about these things, Darren.
That's what I would have done.
That was a cerebric fungi. I did not recognize it until it unleashed itself from its box. It is over now.
All the more reason to keep you at point.
Still suggests that there would have been something moving through its room.
Yes, it most certainly ate all the blood, or even bodies.
My prediction would be that something, perhaps the robots, would have driven through organic creatures. The fungus would not have eaten robots, but it would have eaten the blood.
Yes.
Means there's robots that way. Seems our cause is clear.
Considering the wreckage that we've just passed, as Zarin gestures towards the left, I think robots are a fair prediction.
Well,
Good.
let's open those doors and get ready for
Better.
trouble.
Make it double.
Zarin will actually hazard a twitch, like a sneer at the dead fungus before he moves to the southern door.
Just like
Is there
step on it to make sure it's
any-
extra squished and then
is
kick
there
the machine
any-
it was in.
Anything valuable in the room, Sheep? If Sean goes over it for...
Just skimming through the room, you do find a open crate that does seem to contain some potentially useful items.
Okay.
Specifically, looking very similar to what you've seen in one of the shops. Flare guns, 3 of them. Except
Flare
these
guns.
ones slightly worn
Okay.
and dented.
Flare guns.
3 worn flare guns.
Awesome.
That one guy's
Any-
gonna love it.
Any flares to accompany?
They do seem to be loaded with a shot each.
Okay.
Alright. Wonderful. And the slimy, hideous mass, there isn't like a sapphire or something in it?
No.
Try to pulp it first, then we might know.
Oh, okay.
Just for good measure. We don't know if it's gonna come back. We don't know if it can feel it, but just pulp it. Just keep hitting it.
Sure. Smack, smack, smack. Well, let's rumble.
To the south, the door opens with a slight hiss, revealing a hallway in which the bloodstain seems to continue to the eastern door.
Fungus apparently had no interest in leaving its quarters. I am also out of personal magic. Hopefully that will not be too much of a concern unless we find more of those. What did you call them, Professor? Jujis?
Juju zombies.
Jujus. Zarin will peek around the corner here.
There's a lot of doors here.
Yeah, could take a look down there first, but the blood leads in here.
Would rather investigate that first.
How long have we been down here? At least 2 hours.
Probably slowly approaching 3 at this point.
Okay.
Well, can go for a few more rooms. Shouldn't be a problem.
What the fuck, Jonas? Are you trying to get us killed?
I don't see anything terrible happening.
What is that spell we have cast on us when we swim anyway?
It's water breathing.
Handy.
I'll
open the door, I reckon.
Okay. Vision blocking. 1 second. Okay, stop moving.
Doors.
As
Oh,
I will
God!
describe what you see here.
A monster.
There is a metal desk sitting to the north and south of this long room, yet the most distinctive feature are a pair of odd bed-like tables, flanked by curving panels of blinking, pulsing lights. Moving armatures of metal extend over the beds, each outfitted with glowing panes of glass and strangely glowing tools. The chamber reeks of blood, with a great crimson stain splashed across the device, beds, and floor. And in front of the beds sits a 4-legged, 2-armed, more or less humanoid creature, completely out of pristine white metal. There are some dents and shows of, usage on it, as it seems to concentrate on one of the beds, but as you open the door, it turns towards you, extending one of its arms, each finger a needle, or rather a syringe, as it hesitates for a moment, cocking its head, but then quickly moves towards you with, obvious hostile intent.
I don't think we hesitate for a moment. Oh, apparently we do. God damn it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be stabbed with syringe fingers.
Well, the droid is also not that fast either, Malachi.
It is
Take
not
heart.
very fast.
For some reason, when I looked at the initiative, it's at 22.
Kainrik gets checked first.
I will yell out, and what do you see?
Robot
Oh,
has needles for hands.
it's attacking. I guess so.
Why don't you take a look for yourself?
Wreck the shit.
Move over here. Definitely see it. Make a knowledge check against it. Engineering.
That would be engineering, yes. This is most definitely a robot, and the purpose of it seems very clear, as its needle hands are designed for, delivering liquids, likely medicine, However, this one is clearly approaching you with not the intent to heal, but rather to do the exact opposite.
Do the syringes still have liquid in them?
It does seem so, yes.
Oh dear.
You're gonna get medicated.
Yeah, I kind of want to get those syringes like intact, so
Yeah.
I will.
The syringes do seem to be part of the robot essentially, and would be very difficult to actually have.
Well, I was able to take off the medical or the robot's hands, the
Well, you
repair
can-
hands.
And you can break the vials and like drain the liquid to something else. So I will try the sleeping business again.
Okay.
I'm sure Rothar will perfectly understand your desire. Like,
I'll
keep the
make it.
liquid. Monster!
It fails. And thanks to your amazing powers, it actually falls asleep.
Okay, don't break it right away. Yell to Rotor.
I mean, this is a 5-foot step coup de grace moment. Just like slice its head off.
You totally should, I think.
Oh.
Anything else?
And just check if anything else is in the room first.
Or let me do it, since I have 4 times crit.
Yeah, and you provide less like
No, I can't.
damage to the whole
I
thing.
want to smash it though.
Yeah, hang on. I'm gonna
Professor, there's
yeah, I'm just first off getting like vision on the room. I see it, and I see that it looks inactive currently. And I want to step in, but I know it might not be safe. Opinion will say, yes, Rothar, I agree with Kainrick. Don't destroy it right away. See if there's anything else pressing in the room first. But it might have valuable things if we can keep them intact instead of destroying it.
it's naive.
Precision
is there
shot to
other
the head should
robots?
do it.
There do not seem to be any other things in the room. At least not any other robot things.
Yeah, I still do think I'll just try and coup de grace it.
I think you might as well.
Just aim it on the head only.
I'll be doing that with of course, power attack and rage, because this is kind of my, arch enemy.
I hate you, sleeping thing!
Fuck you! Robots don't sleep.
It's unnatural.
They never sleep. They're trying to trick you to investigate it. It's what they do. They act like they're inactive, then they activate under your village and kill everyone. It's a thing. Let's see here, and then there's the. Yeah, I guess it'll just be double damage for this.
That should be a crit, right?
So
that would be 32. You smack into the robot, and I believe it has to roll 42 to save or just die.
Yeah.
Which it can't make, meaning it dies. The bits of it clattering to the floor. Combat is over.
Crushes its face.
So is there only blood there and no other body parts or anything?
Looking around the room, it does seem like the blood also leads to a shaft of sorts. Tiny, not enough for an entire body to go through, but
Parts of a body has gone through. Oh, I've removed power attack, huh?
then you crit.
That's a waste.
Oh, just like my 20 with the scourge. You donated that to the gods.
Never gonna get that back.